Hello everybody. Welcome back to MK Quilts for my weekly live feed. So I hope I gave you enough notice, and I hope some of you can hop on live with me today because I have some updates to give you and just kind of catching up with what I've been working on the last few days. So let's get right to it. So what have I been up to the last few days? Well, the first thing is, I've been quilting like a mad woman. So I have, as you know, I'm just a busy gal. Always am, always have been. It's kind of how I roll. Hey, everybody who's dropping on or jumping on. So my life is busy. It always is, but it's busy and crazy with things that are so good and a lot of blessings in my life. And just as I'm saying that, I want to just really quickly give you an update. I know I posted about the situation going on with my sister-in-law out in Seattle. There's really been no change for that. She is in kind of a state with a coma, and they're just waiting and watching. So our whole family appreciates you keeping us in your thoughts and prayers and holding us up through that. It's very difficult, as you know. I'm sure you've been through things like this. They are very far away from us, and we feel very like helpless a lot of times. So just thank you for that, and I will give you some updates if and when I can. But back to my quilting. I have just been in the shop here just quilting like a mad woman because later today I am going to be jetting off to a friend's house. I'm doing my double wedding ring class with a group of gals here in Florida tomorrow afternoon. Super excited to be getting back into teaching a piecing class, okay? Most of my teaching, as you know, because you're here on this page, centers around my quilting, my pro stitcher instruction. But before I got really big into that, I did a lot of just quilt class teaching around at different shops and different guilds and my own guilds and things like that. I had to put that a little bit on the back burner because, life has gotten so busy with other things, and as my business has progressed and expanded, that I just really had to cut back on that piecing instruction. But I missed it and I loved it, and I just decided to add it back into kind of the mix when I travel this year. So this afternoon, I'm going to buzz on over to her house. I'm going to spend the night with her so that I don't have to drive so far in the morning, and we're going to be doing double wedding ring. Now, I had somebody reach out to me and ask me if I'm going to make a video about that. Well, I would really like to, but I have to work things out with the Quilt Smart people, make sure that it's all, copacetic to do all of that. And that's probably something that's going to be down the road. I have promised you plenty of other stuff that I need to do. I actually have 2 mini classes, Pro Stitcher Sim style mini classes that I want to do. One of them is for a big quilt that has connected half square triangle kind of diamond things, and then of course the L-shaped connected borders doing chunking. So I am planning to work on all of that in June because I'm pretty much going to be here in Florida in the month of June, so I can get a bunch of that stuff done. But I've been quilting because I'm hitting the road this coming next week as well. I'm going to be in Georgia and North Carolina, and we'll talk about that, some of my travels a little bit later. Okay, also I've been making and creating zippers like a mad woman. Okay, so once again, I'm not exactly sure how or why my loading video kind of trends high sometimes, and then it'll slow down a bit and then it'll trend up again. But right now it's trending upward, and I've just been making so many zippers to the point where I'm kind of fixing to move towards having somebody else do that work for me, because I feel like my time is really, really valuable to be focused on other things rather than sitting at the sewing machine sewing on zippers. Okay, so I'm going to be farming that out and training somebody else to do that for me. But the zippers and the loading system with the leader grips, huge, still huge way. People are very intrigued by the way that I load. And again, the reason why I load that way is because I'm very busy here, and I just need to keep things, moving through the studio. Okay, so one off, one goes on, and I start stitching. All right, so that's that with the zippers and the loading. So just before I hopped on, I was watching a couple things over on the Handy Quilter retailer site, and that's a special login just for us retailers. And I was just reminded that this year, 2018, marks the 20th anniversary for Handy Quilter. So happy birthday, Handy Quilter. And I just also realized that I've been in business with my Handy Quilter machines for 10 years, just over 10 years. So I've been with Handy Quilter half of their life. So that's pretty cool. There are going to be probably some things coming down the pipe in the next few months, just with promotions from Handy Quilter, kind of celebrating their 20th year. So the first one is there is a promotion coming out next week, and we'll post about it at the beginning of the week next week. But you're going to want to probably keep an eye out for that. It's a really good one coming down the pipe from Handy Quilter. All right. Let's see. Okay, back to my travels. So Paul had updated my website just recently with kind of a new, it's the same platform, I think, but it looks a little bit different in regard to my upcoming events. And we noticed that there was a couple little glitches, a couple things when he made that transition got missed, and I missed him and he missed him. But one of you noticed that something was missing, and you had asked me if I had canceled one of my engagements. No, I have not canceled anything, and Paul and I were working that on the website this morning. So all of my events coming up should be up and ready to be, you can go on there and register at any time. Okay, so some of the events are starting to fill up, so you probably want to check those out sooner than later and make sure that you can get a spot wherever I'm going to be near you. Now is the time to do that. And I'm not going to go through and run through them today. Paul, like I say, Paul and I were just working on that on the website. I'm pretty sure now everything is up there where I'm going to be, and you can just head on over there and get yourself registered. Okay, so I'm super excited about going out and about and meeting some of you where you live this summer. Okay, the next thing is products. So I had been waiting on a very large order of the Glide Feet. As you know, I offer the etched version of the Glide Foot here through MK Quilts, and that is an aftermarket add-on that we do to the Glide Foot, but I had been out of them and they were taking a little bit longer to get in stock. But we have them back. Any of you who had been waiting on etched Glide Foot that you had placed an order, those have all been shipped. So just double check your email, make sure that you've got a tracking number from us. If you feel like we've missed you or something happened with that, just give me a shout and I'll have Mr. MK check the shipping software. But I'm fully loaded now, stocked up on etched Glide Feet, and those etched Glide Feet are just fantastic, you guys. For those of you who are new, I will pop the YouTube video below so that you can see what is the etching all about, what makes that special, what makes that helpful, and whatnot. So I will post that below. Let's see, of course I'm stocked up on needles. I'm pretty fully stocked up on my Omni thread. Just remember, kind of a standing order through MK Quilts is buy one, get one at a discount on the Omni thread. That's pretty much what I use exclusively here at MK Quilts. It's Omni through Superior. I use it top and bottom. I wind my own bobbins still. I know some of you might like the pre-wounds. I just like to wind my own bobbins. So a little bit of a discount on that. I have some wide backs that have actually been selling quite well. With the wide backs, if you guys are interested, some of who I've been selling to recently are like philanthropic groups who would like to get some wide backs for their charity projects. So if you fall into that category, or you would like to talk to me about ordering up a couple bolts of this, that, or whatever, I can send you a link to look so that you can look at what they have, and then I will, I'll try to give you the best price that I can. I mean, we all got to pay shipping and whatnot, but I will try to help you out with that if you want to order something other than what I have here in stock. All right, let's see. Print material, just remember that I have the separate print source, that if you want to get manuals, Pro Stitcher manuals, Amara manuals, Forte manuals, the Art and Stitch stuff, any of that you can get printed through my print source. And a lot of times there's chatter about that, you guys, about, well, you can go to Kinko's or you can go to Staples or you can do whatever. would you be able to get it at a cheaper price? I don't know, maybe. But the point of it is you don't have to do anything except click a button right through MK Quilts. You're helping support us. You're helping support my print source. And he just basically, you guys, he gets those things out in a day's time. So you don't have to print it out yourself or send it to Staples or hop in the car and waste time. Just order it up and we'll ship it straight to you, and you can get it 3-hole punched or comb bound. And it's simple, okay? It's simple. All right, so that brings me to my last topic. All right, what did we talk about last week? OMG. That program that Mr. MK worked on is fan-freaking-tastic. I am telling you, I am so excited about it. So the first thing that I do want to mention is that I don't want to blow up the sim page all the time talking about Quilt Pattern Indexer, okay? So I'm really going to encourage you to join the other Facebook group that we have created. I will pop the link below, or you just search for QPI Community is the name of the board, and people have been sharing under there already. If you missed it, we have 2 of our beta testers that agreed to be kind of admins on the page for us so that we can give good support, that it doesn't have to be just Paul and I. The 2 ladies that we selected worked really, really hard in the beta testing time frame for us, and so they have agreed to help us kind of monitor questions and give advice and all of that. So hop on over and join that other Facebook group. But for today, let me just talk about it a little bit. So I know that some of you maybe have been waiting for me to do some screen capture, some video recording training on the QPI. So I did some of that last week right after it first came out, and then I kind of got a little bit more into the program myself, and I really like that screen capture that I did. It was just not quite what I wanted it to be, so I scrapped it. Now this morning I just did a little bit of screen capture for you, but I want to give you a little heads up. I'm planning to kind of break down my instruction into little pieces here and there. And what I can tell you is the first piece of the pie that I am working on with Quilt Pattern Indexer is to reevaluate and reorganize my stuff. Okay, I got a lot of stuff. And I have a pretty good plan in place for saving that and making sure that's backed up and, you know, housing that off on a different drive, and like a cloud-based backup drive. But for the purposes of the Quilt Pattern Indexer, I really realized that that wasn't really working for me personally to organize and be able to search and keyword and whatnot. So the first thing that I'm doing is organizing, kind of reorganizing my hard drive, and that is the first piece of screen capture that I just did this morning. Okay, so watch for that. I will hand that off to Mr. MK before I leave town this afternoon so that he can kind of pull that together, and we'll post that. We'll post it in the QPI Facebook group, okay? So make sure you head on over there and get yourself signed up. But the other thing is that we feel like we had gotten very, very, very close with that program the way that we released it, okay? Now, again, the beta group and Paul and myself have been working with it enough, and we've found just a few things that we feel need to be tweaked with the program, okay? So we're reaching out to the developer, to the programmer, probably gonna have to pay him a little bit of extra money to get some things really fine-tuned the way that we really want them to be. All right, so if you've already looked at the program, you may recognize a few of these things. Mr. MK sent me a list, and I'm just kind of highlighting some of the ones that I think are important. So the first thing that almost one of the first things that I noticed right away was a multiple select function, okay? That is going to be crucial because many of us have thousands of patterns, and we can't, you know, the time to click on those individually and keyword, even copying and pasting is just going to be too time consuming, okay? So that is one of the big fixes that we're going to do, multiple select with the shift or control function so that you can get several things selected at one time and then add on keywords that way. We would like to add a notes option to a keyword, okay? So we're working on that. Displaying the pattern size and dimensions when you're previewing it. So right now, if you have a pattern and it's being indexed by the QPI and you pull it up, you're going to see the name of it. You're going to see whether or not you have any keywords attached to it. but there's really no information or notes or information about how big that pattern is. Okay, so that's one of the things. Print option, being able to print the design with the information that goes along with that pattern. So that has been actually a topic that has popped up several times with some of you. In my studio, I'm personally trying to get rid of paperwork, okay? Like, I don't want to have printouts. When I first started with my Pro Stitcher, the only plan that I had for organization was like a big binder, and everything I purchased I printed out and I put in this binder. Okay, that was a big day for me when I eventually felt like I was using this other program well enough that I could throw away the printouts in the binder. That was scary. Like, oh, I was holding on to those papers. But for me personally, I don't want to have a lot of printouts and stuff. But I know that many of you do. You have reasons for wanting to have those printouts and whatever. So we're trying to work a way to have it be printer paper friendly. Okay? Let's see. Oh, repeat the search function. So that is one of the things that I noticed right away. If there is a keyword that I'm searching on frequently and it's showing up in my list of recent searches, then I want that to be updated, or at least if I go to click on it, I want to really quickly be able to do that same search again. I don't want to have to type in the search over and over again. Okay, so repeating of a search, that is a big one. And then editing the keywords, being able to easily edit or change them, or maybe even delete them. That's kind of another topic that's been popping up a lot. All right, so there's some other things on here that Mr. MK had listed, but just know that we are working on it. We appreciate so much. That first, what was it? We released it last Friday, and then we did Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the introductory pricing. Wow. Tons of you, I know, took advantage of that. So thank you for your business on that. I'm seeing little pieces of information come through that, yes, you grabbed it, like you bought it, but you haven't had a whole lot of time maybe to dive into it. You're waiting for the lead from us with some, training videos and whatnot. So we are working on that. Like I say, I just redid some screen capture this morning. I plan to break it down in little bite-sized nuggets. So the first thing that I did this morning was on organizing your folders and your patterns and what you're actually going to bring in and let QPI index for you. Okay, so that's a big first piece of the puzzle. All right, so let's see. I think I'm pretty much down. Oh, I did a new YouTube, right? Again, that was just somebody had a question on a board. They were referring to one of my old YouTube videos done in standard, and I really just didn't feel like I could type out a response that was going to make enough sense. So I just stopped really quick and did that YouTube. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on that. And again, you guys, I had really planned on going back and grabbing some of those old YouTubes and updating them, but other things have cropped up. Other things have been occupying my time, things that I feel like are more important. But I will say that those old YouTube videos, if you have been working enough with premium since it's been out, you should be able to go back to those old videos that were done in standard and get enough of the mentality, right? The instruction is basically still the same. It's just that, your buttons or your tabs or where you're selecting it is just slightly different in premium. Okay, so we're not taking any of those old videos down because some people are still running standard. But really, you should be able to correlate the two if you think about it enough. One of the other things that we're planning, and I'm not going to give away too much information, but we are planning another big announcement on something that we would love to do in the future, and we're hoping to be able to give you some sort of a heads up on that in the month of June. Okay, it's going to be super huge. Another super huge announcement. I'm so excited. So very excited. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Any questions or comments before I sign off today? I'm just going to kind of scroll back here, bring them on camera. Hello, everybody's just saying hello. I love to see when you say hi. Hi from Nevada, hi from Oregon. I know some of you are watching locally. Hi from Michigan. It still blows me away that I just have you all following me and watching me from all over the country and the world, really. Okay, so if there's no questions or comments, just keep watching. Join the other QPI group, and we appreciate all of that. Hi from Newport, Oregon. Oh gosh, I had somebody reach out to me just recently asking if I was going to be out there in your area in Oregon. Somebody was wanting to know if I can come to Montana. So I think next year, okay, this year is really full, and I've pretty much got my travels planned out for this year, but next year I would love to get out west again. Maybe California stop up into the great Northwest again, Pacific Northwest and Montana, out there in that. And I still need to get up into the Northeast too. So I got so many places I could and want to go. So, okay, over here, let's end it for today. Yep, over here on McFinity, we have more blue fabric. I have another quilt on the rack there that I can't share with you right now. It's top secret from my friend Deb Heatherly. So that will be published later this year. And over here on McFusion, I have a pretty one from my mom. My mom's getting back into quilting a little bit, so I'm super excited about that. And speaking of moms, to all of you moms out there, enjoy your day this weekend on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. And I'm gonna be actually packing up on Mother's Day. I gotta go to church in the morning, and then it's hit the road first thing Monday morning. So my Mother's Day is going to be spent packing and preparing for my travels. Okay, you guys, that's it. That's all I got for you today. And until next time, from my studio to yours, happy quilting. Bye-bye.